All right. Welcome back to Melanin and Me podcast, y'all.
Hey y'all, hey, we're back.
We're back, Mia and Whitney, and we are going to start out with some hot topics. There's been a lot of things going on in the media.
Per usual. I feel like we
Mm-hmm.
go through lulls, like in the hot topic space where there's either just like stuff to talk about or there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like there's kind of like a lot going on right now, and it's been going
It's
on.
a lot.
It's a
It's
lot
so
going
much.
on. It's a lot. And we probably won't even cover everything that, is really happening, but
Mm-mm.
we'll at least discuss, some of the things.
Yeah. Oh, just to throw this out there, it's crazy. I just saw Donald Trump's mugshot the other day.
Girl, hilarious. Hilarious.
Who would have thought we'd be here? Okay.
Girl, what you think about that? Do you
Crazy.
think he's gonna get jail time?
No, I don't think he'll get jail time. I
I
think
don't
they're gonna
either.
slap him with a fine. You know that he got money. I think it
Yeah.
was just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Um, Also, there was a young lady. I think they said she was like Kanye West's tour assistant or something. She also got locked up for the whole election. Um,
Yeah.
I'm still unclear of the charges. I think they were trying to do something with the election unlawfully.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm not really clear because I feel like we've been facing indictments. He's got so many indictments against him
mhm.
over the last several years. Because I remember when it first came out, it was like, oh my God, Trump's been indicted. And everybody was like, oh my
Hmm.
God, oh my God. And everybody was like, the smarter people were like, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, yeah, it means something, but he's not going to
Right.
jail. He's not going to. And then it was like, okay, so then why are we getting excited about an indictment then? So
Hmm.
at this point he's got so many indictments that I guess
Hmm.
one of the ones made it up, routed up enough to be actually charged,
Yeah.
to go forth with a
It's
mugshot, and then now a trial is supposed
first
to
time we've
happen.
ever seen that. Yeah. I've never
Exactly.
seen a
So
president in a mugshot,
me either.
ex-president.
Nope. So
So,
that's why I can see where that is a big deal. But as far as like, the indictments
hmm
and stuff, I'm like, at first I got excited because I thought it was like, he was going to go to jail, or I thought he was in trouble, or
hmm
and it was like, oh my God. But now that we have an actual mugshot, I'm like, could he go to, like, is he going to go to jail, or is
yeah.
he going to have like something real happen to him where it like matters? Because he's running for
hmm
president.
Again.
Again. And while we sit up here talking, he fuck around and be a president again.
Again.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
got to be old as hell. I'm sorry. My thing is, and this is like a little, no, it's not off topic, but I don't know if you remember, there was like a senator, or I don't want to say it was Joe Biden, but one of these senators or somebody was like falling asleep at the cabinet meeting.
I thought it was
They're like,
Is it Joe Biden? It might have been Joe
girl, I
Biden.
know he falls asleep a lot, but this is what I'm leading to. Like, we have to have an age limit where people gotta, you're too old. You can't do it anymore. You just
Yeah.
can't, because we have age limits for people to become president. You have to be 35 years old and above to be a president. So why can y'all be presidents at 89? That's not, or senators or chief justices, Supreme Court. There has to be a limit. We got to phase these people out, because I mean, what does an 89-year-old really even know about what's going on in the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so much you know. A lot of things are going to go over your head.
Yeah. I think
So,
too, also with, and God, I was not good at history. All right. At all. Everybody who knows me knows this.
mhm,
But I do think that the requirements to become like a not
mhm.
to become a president, but back then, because now it feels like you could just wake up and say, I want to be a president, and you actually are a runner in the election. You know what I mean? You just do it.
Yeah.
But I think
Mhm.
for like Bill Clinton era, Bush, and all of that, it was like, they wanted you to have some skin in the game, meaning like several years of
Of
this
politics.
position of
Yeah.
politics.
Okay. So Kiki Palmer.
Kiki.
Kiki Palmer been in the mix after having her baby with her baby daddy Darius, also known as Dro's little brother. You know Dro from Insecure? Yeah. Darius is.
Oh, is that who her baby daddy is? The brother?
That's her baby daddy.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that's what he's known for. Now, I can't tell you what the baby daddy does, Darius. I have no clue. But he's with Kiki Palmer, and there was a lot of speculation after she was with Usher enjoying a nice concert in Vegas, and her outfit was a little revealing. Darius said that that's not how a mother should be dressing. And he said this on social media. It got a lot of backlash. Kiki continued to dress even more provocatively to piss him off. And yeah, they were just seen together yesterday. He was posting birthday wishes for her 30th birthday. She looked amazing. And looks like they're having a cute little family moment. So looks like they're all good.
Yeah, and I think too, just to piggyback on what you're saying, is that I do think that media blew everything out of proportion. I think that, you know, in terms of the conversation about her attire and all the things, here's what we know. Kiki is like, we deem her in pop culture to be kind of like the princess of, sitcoms, or one of the many. But, Kiki essentially can do no wrong. She's just had a baby. We were coming off a big, high from that. And then it's like, wait a minute, now give this woman a break, sir. We just met you. We don't even really know who you are outside of, her,
We don't know
her
him.
new. Yeah, you just went half on a baby with Kiki. That's really all we know you for. And now you're trying to interject yourself on a night out where she deserves to be out on a night out. She's had a baby. I don't care if she had her ass out. You know what I mean? Literally. So yeah, I think it was just us being in the business and them giving us too much to tear apart. And I think they'll be fine. I think this was a, egg on our face type of interaction. And hopefully, they just don't put their business out in the media when it comes to on certain specific things that they don't want us to pick apart, unless this was staged.
Exactly, which it could be. I'm just saying, because as soon as that little controversy happened, Kiki was on
Right.
every blog, and she dropped a song, and then she was on tour. Looked like she did some tour dates or something. Then she was in Usher's music video. Like, it just was
Girl, it
like
was a
one
lot
thing after the
after the
next.
other.
I didn't even know Kiki was doing all this stuff. So it could have been promo for the whole, the whole thing. So we don't know
Could have
yet.
been.
Could have been. We have no clue.
But happy birthday. Shout out to happy birthday to Kiki. Welcome to the 30 Club, girl. It's the vibe over here. Come on in. Come on in. Sit down. Kick your feet up.
And Darius, that's his name, right? Darius? Yeah, Darius. The next time you have to say something to Kiki, say it privately. Okay?
Yeah.
We don't want to hear none of it. We just don't. Don't include us. Send her a text, a voicemail, a DM, FaceTime, something. But don't try to blast her on social media, because we're going to always side with her.
Always. Always. We still don't know you.
You. That's my thing. Just sit in your place. Like, we don't know you, sir.
We don't know you at all. Okay.
Yeah.
So more to come. Hopefully they've learned their lesson on this. And we can move forward. Period. One of the topics that I did want to discuss was Lizzo being in the media for the sexual harassment or assault claims from her dancers. She has since come out to countersue essentially the dancers, which seems to be the going thing when it comes to being sued with celebrities. They'll do a countersue. Because, you know, a lot of times they want to kind of wear you down, especially the people who have the less amount of resources.
Yep.
So they're hoping, you know, you get tired and you don't want to fight or whatever the case may be. It's a good angle, good strategy on Lizzo's part. But in terms of the, what is it that I'm trying to say? You know, do I feel like Lizzo, because essentially Lizzo's saying like, oh, well, I have pictures of them smiling at an event. So if they're smiling at an event, you know, how can they be sexually harassed or assaulted? Like, how can they be making these claims and they're having a good time, or it appears they're having a good time? And I'm like,
so some people may
there's
not
plenty
know what happened. You want to give them a little brief overview of what happened with that?
Oh, for some reason I thought we talked about this in our last podcast. So Lizzo's backup dancers essentially filed a lawsuit against Lizzo. It was about 3 of them, I think. And they are basically making allegations towards Lizzo and saying that, you know, she would make, you know, really, really just obscene like jokes, and inappropriate things were being said as it related to weight and their appearance, and even sexual claims of sorts of all different things. One of the girls, and I don't really know what this has to do with the lawsuit, but one of the girls, and I just basically chalk it up to just her not having media training.
Right.
But she did make the statement like, oh, well, you know, Lizzo had favoritism. Like, she would take some of the dancers or some people to these different, you know, vacations and islands and all these different things. And she, you know, it was kind of like a pick me, you know, I'm left out, so now I want to sue too type of energy. I don't necessarily know if that's all she's like there for, but I'm saying it didn't look good. In terms of if you're gonna lump that in with everything else, I just kind of would have left that part out. But anyways, that's essentially the gist of it. These backup dancers are saying that Lizzo, you know, made them feel very uncomfortable in a lot of different spaces while they were working for her. And the reason why they would go through with things was because in fear of loss of their job or whatever the case may be. And so now Lizzo has come out and she's now countersuing them based on a photo or some evidence that she has that she's using against them, saying like, hey, if they're really upset, if they're really not whatever, if they're saying I'm all these things, well, look at them here. They look like they're having a good time. They're smiling. And I'm thinking like, you
that
know,
doesn't mean anything.
I've been in situations where my boss has walked in and I'm like, hey, and in my mind, I'm like, I could care less, right? Like, so I don't know how it's going to hold much weight in Lizzo's favor. But what I do know is that it's, you know, they don't play around when it comes to sexual assault and things like that. Like, she's already lost. I think the Super Bowl canceled her performance. You know, there's no telling what other things are going to come out that she is going to not now be a part of based on all of this. So I don't know where I feel with all this. What are your thoughts?
Girl, Lizzo, babe, just settle. Write the check. Settle. Okay. Settle this, make it go away, make them sign NDA so they can't be doing interviews after. We have the attention span of like a toddler. America does. So let this die down. Sign those checks, send them off, and next year you'll be on tour again. Like, nobody cares. At the end of the day, people don't be caring that much. We care for like 5 to 10 business days, and then
we're on to the
next thing. Now, I'm not saying sexual harassment is okay. I'm not saying none of that, but at the end of the day, this is why Lizzo doesn't have a case. And this is because she was their employer. So you brought these people. I think one of the claims was that she brought her employees to the red light district in Amsterdam, I believe. And the red light district has like a lot of prostitution, a lot of sex clubs, sex workers, stuff like that. And apparently at one of these sex clubs, she was making her dancers touch the strippers' private parts. You know, she wanted to see them touch their private parts. So she already fucked up because she had her employees going with her in a sexual environment. That's a no-no. That's a no-no, because whether they want to be there or not, you can't prove that, because at the end of the day, they're with their employer. They may think that,
They're
hey,
on. Yep.
if I don't go, I won't get chosen for the next tour. I'm going to get kicked off the tour. I'm going to get my pay cut check, like my pay check cut. Like, they don't know what could have been backlash if they didn't participate. And of course, I'm going to act like I'm having a good time. Yay, because it's my boss. So
Right.
it really doesn't matter what they looked like, because a lot of the girls had already said, look, I felt like I had to participate. I had to laugh it off, or else it was going to be a bigger deal and she was going to kick me off the tour. That's what they thought. So, and then it doesn't look good, because Lizzo has already said some comments. I think they had her voice on a radio show she did recently, or over the last few years, where she said she wanted to eat a banana or something out of a stripper's vagina. And that's one of the accusations that the girl said, is that Lizzo wanted them to like eat bananas out of their vaginas, allegedly, when they were in Amsterdam. And so it's kind of like, yikes, girl, they actually have you on video saying that that's something you wanted to do. And then you know, so it doesn't look good. I would just suggest you settle and let this pass her by. Just lay low for a little bit. And yeah.
It'll be interesting. More to come. We'll follow the story and see how it unfolds for her. But, you know, a lot of times these celebrities, that's what they end up doing. They do go that route of settling. So hopefully, you know,
because we know they just want to get a check. I mean, not to say they only wanted to get a check. I don't know if the you know, accusations are real or not, but we know money talks. And if you were to give these ladies a check, they're going to drop it.
For sure.
They're going to drop it. So
for sure.
And I think one of them actually did get let go or fired. So they feel like that was like retaliation. So
it's a fine line, you know, it's a fine line and all the things. So it'll be curious. Like I said, we'll follow this story and see kind of, you know, where they end up and how this all unfolds. And if Lizzo does end up settling, well, then you heard it here first. And that is, you know, that's kind of that.
To do. And I'm feeling like this is a move for her to see who's going to drop their lawsuits, probably. Like her countersuing.
Wear them down. Wear them down. Yeah. Wear them down. They don't have many resources. You know, it's always the lesser of the two. So that's why I was like, it's a smart part on her end. It's just that, again, the reason why she's countersuing, I don't think that that's going to stick, because I'm like, I've definitely smiled in spaces where my boss is around and I'm not, that doesn't convey the real emotion of how I'm feeling in that moment.
Exactly.
So yeah, so more to come on that. I did want to touch on Whoopi Goldberg and Raven-Symoné. Add a little lightheartedness in here. So Whoopi had made an appearance on Raven-Symoné's podcast, the best podcast ever. And it's one of those things where, well, let me say this. Raven had asked her, you know, and basically, you know, Whoopi, are you into women? Are you a lesbian type of question? And so Whoopi says, nope. I've played the characters. I've, you know, supported many women that are in the LGBT space and all of the things, but I myself am not. I am very much heterosexual. And I just was thinking, and also too, I think it was a safe space for that question to be asked on Raven show, because, you know, they have history together. It wasn't like, you know, it's not like, I mean, I think since I've even known who Whoopi Goldberg was, I've always had questions. Not that it was any of my business, but, you know, it was always like, I'm wondering if she's maybe not gay, but
never got gay vibes from Whoopi. That's what's fun.
I've never gotten gay. Exactly. I've never gotten gay vibes, but I've always kind of just wondered, like, would she go, or has she been with a woman type of energy? Even though we know that. Really?
For some reason, I always see her with white guys. I just feel like she's one of those women who like white guys, and white guys like her.
Well, she said that years ago. Well, she said that decades ago, how black men, just never found her attractive, and she's, never been attractive to black men. And so I think that also plays a role into, how a lot of her relationships ended up being or resulting in white men. But yeah, so I don't know. For me, I can't speak for everyone else. I do know that, when I was reading some of the comments, a lot of them were like, yeah, we always kind of wondered, but nobody really thought she was gay. It was just one of those things where it was like, we know she's got a child, right? But how many situations do we know where people end up choosing same sex later on after they've been married and had children? I mean, that means very little to nothing too.
That's
but
true.
It's never been something that I've like kept me up all night. Has kept me up all night. It's just more so like, oh, okay, well, it was asked, it was addressed, and she answered it, and we move on.
That's crazy. Yeah. See, Whoopi to me strikes me as a I don't care type person. So like I can't see her hiding that, really. Who knows? But I always wanted to know why Whoopi didn't have any eyebrows. That would have been my question. I was like, Whoopi, is this a personal choice? Or like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I always wondered that. Because I love
I'm like, oh my
Sister
gosh.
Act 2.
She has no eyebrows. I've never noticed. Does she not have eyebrows?
Girl, Whoopi has no eyebrows. She's never had eyebrows, and she's never even drawn them on. So I'm just like, is that like a fashion statement or is it like a health thing? Like I just wanted to know, But interesting, Raven. I didn't know Raven
she doesn't have eyebrows.
She doesn't. She never did.
Wow, she doesn't have eyebrows.
Never. That would have been one of my first questions. So, like, that's what I would have asked.
Oh my God, she really doesn't have eyebrows.
Girl, no. Whoopi has never had eyebrows. And
I've never known.
You see, it fits her. It fits her.
Well,
it does. Definitely. You didn't even notice. It's just like her face. Like it fits.
Yeah.
Crazy girl.
And probably too because she does do really well of conveying emotion, like with her eyes. She's very intense in that way when it comes to like acting and like talking about certain topics on The View or whatever the case. So maybe that's why, because I always equate eyebrows to
expressions,
like expression. So like I've always kind of like, oh, Whoopi's upset or Whoopi's confused or she's done all that with not having eyebrows. Wow.
Yeah, girl.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
I don't know. But my thing is also I'm kind of shocked that Raven asked her that because it's like, Raven, girl, you was up here denying and dodging all those gay questions for years. You know what I'm saying? Like it took her forever to come out. So it's just like, you kind of got nerve to be asking somebody on your show when it took you 20 years to come out. So.
Yeah. And I think too, it's probably part of that is it's much easier for somebody else to call out somebody else's stuff versus their own. Just because it's like, for myself, it's like, oh, well, I have to like kind of face that myself and I'm not ready to, or whatever the case may come with that. But, with somebody else, they may be willing or, I'm just more comfortable asking about your business than telling my own type of energy. So that's very true though. Like it did take her some time, and hell, for a lot of people, they don't come out at all, or they get found out about, or they just don't say anything. So that's very true. That's a very good comment. Yeah.
The brat never came out. She just one day popped up with that lady and had a baby. You know
that lady.
I don't know her name, but she just one day popped up.
She's so pretty. Oh my God. I was watching something. The brat. Yeah, she's so pretty. I was watching something with her like decades ago, like when Aaliyah was still living. I think it was a video that they had all did. And I was just like, God, she's so pretty. Like, I mean, she still is gorgeous. Ladies night, yeah. I'm like, but she was just so I was saying she was, but she is just so pretty.
Even now she's really pretty. Like I know
she's always been, yeah. She's
technically
so pretty.
She is the, I guess, quote unquote masculine energy in the relationship, but she looks more girly to me than the girl, than her wife.
So. Yeah. I can see that.
It's
And then
crazy.
two, I'm not gonna say it. Anyways. So
You had to
yeah,
think
so
about
okay,
that, huh?
more
You don't want to get no backlash.
Nope, I'm good. We're gonna move on. Yes, sir.
But congrats on their new baby. They just had a baby. There's a lot of babies popping out, celebrity babies right now.
Yeah.
Rihanna just had her baby, her second with ASAP Rocky.
I think, right? Was it a boy? Is it a boy? I think it's a boy.
I've seen different reports and I haven't seen her confirm either way.
Oh, okay.
I've
Okay.
seen
Maybe I
some
made that
say it's
up.
a girl. I've seen some say it's a boy. I literally think don't nobody know. Um,
Because her
also,
first is a girl, right?
her first was a boy.
Oh, so the first, so I think this one's a girl from what
That's
I
what I'm
was
saying. I've
seeing.
seen reports of both. So
Okay.
I really don't think nobody know. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, Rihanna just had her baby. Got the Brat just had her baby. Sierra announced her pregnancy. There's some pregnancy rumors swarming around with what's her name? Beyonce. We don't know if that's true or not. She could have just had a large lunch for all we know. Um, we know Blueface and Krishan, they pregnant in a mess. they running around here reading fraternity tests
Now
inaccurately.
this is her second baby because I felt like she was pregnant before.
Who? Krishan?
Krishan, or is this the
No.
same pregnancy?
Now she has been pregnant before, but she had like 4 abortions, she said.
Oh, okay.
She
That's
said she
probably
had
where.
4 abortions with Blueface. And so she decided
Okay,
she
that's
didn't want to abort no more.
okay. So I think that's where I probably got that from then.
Yeah, and so we know they've been in the media back and forth because he's been between his 2 baby mamas now. But oh, that's too much of a
Mm,
mess. We can't even talk about that on this podcast. But
we cannot even talk about it.
I did want to touch on one pregnancy rumor that started some drama. This is with Halle Bailey, Chloe Bailey's
Mm-hmm.
sister. So apparently, Halle Bailey was in the background of her boyfriend DDG's live stream or something like that. And when she walked by, a bunch of people noticed she looked very pregnant. So people have been going to her sister page, Chloe Bailey. They hopped in her live and was like, "Hey, is your sister pregnant? We saw her. Why is she hiding it? Is she lying? Blah, blah, blah." And Chloe Bailey got a little, hood with them and was like, "Leave my sister name out of y'all mouth. I don't want to hear nothing else about my sister. Anybody coming from my sister got a problem with me." She was just going off a little bit. So on Fox Soul, which I believe is a talk show with Vivica A. Fox, Claudia Jordan, there's also a YouTuber on there named Funky Dineva. He commented about Chloe Bailey's video defending her sister Halle, I think. Halle. I always get their names
Callie.
messed up. But yeah,
Yeah, I do too.
he ended up basically saying Chloe Bailey is not cute. She's not hood, and she's trying to come off as hood. She looks like mess without makeup. She's boring. She's inauthentic, which is why nobody buys her music. Girl,
I love him.
he
He went in
literally
though.
he drug her for filth. Okay, and we're like, damn, what did she do to you? Like, I was shocked when I heard it because he said it was such girth. Like he just like really didn't mess with her. So I was like, shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think her fans and Beyonce's fans, because she's a artist underneath the Beyonce's label, Parkwood, they've been coming to Funky Dineva's page and harassing him. He had to turn his comments off, and I think he had to make a public statement, basically apologizing for
He did.
calling Chloe ugly. Yeah.
He did. He did because at the end of the day, he was like, "I don't." He said, "I still stand on parts of what I said."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "But I did not have to attack her physically and all of that because I did not have to do none of that of what I said had anything to do with the story at hand that we were
Mm-hmm.
discussing." So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he did come out and do an apology. You know, at the end of the day, I get it. I see why she spoke out in response and up she took up for her sister. I did see the clip of what everybody's kind of alluding to, and it does very much look like she's pregnant.
It does.
And so I don't know the energy behind Chloe's. Like I probably wouldn't have like attacked them if my sister truly was pregnant. The
Yeah.
energy behind Chloe and what she said, I probably wouldn't have had that energy, but I probably would have maybe said, you know what, this if she is great, if she's not, you know, let's leave her alone, you know, type of stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that you came so angrily and like, you know, we don't play and and then only for what a month later from here, it's gonna be like, oh, well, she's pregnant, and everybody's gonna be like, duh, we knew that, that's what we were saying, and then you went off on us.
I know.
So,
Because it's looking like she is pregnant. Because if you're going to respond like that, it's like, okay, obviously they hit a soft spot. They hit something that's right. So,
I don't know how I feel about her being pregnant by him, though. I feel like there was a point in time in the media where he was getting dragged like by the media for some cheating allegations or some like
yeah, he
I
had
don't remember
some
much
contact.
but
So I don't know if you know Ruby Rose. She is a, you know,
you got me on the Ruby Rose when we were in New
yeah.
York in
She
the car.
got a few little bangers, little hits or whatever. So she's a little up and coming rapper, but she's also like an influencer on Instagram, model type thing. I really like her. I like her personality and everything. But he was caught basically DMing her. So Ruby Rose released the DMs and basically showed like, hey, get your man. Your man's DMing me.
Look, get your man.
It's your man. And that's when everybody was like, oh, you need to drop him. You need to drop him before you come out with Little Mermaid, because, you know, it was like a big release and they didn't want her to be drugged down by rumors. But she decided that's her man and she's going to stick beside him. And she's still with him. And that's her business.
Love that for her. Love that for her. And, you know, hopefully he is a great baby father. And hopefully, you know, it works out to where, you know, she's happy and the baby's happy. And
I like him. Like, I mean, I don't know how he would be as a boyfriend, but I followed him for a while on YouTube. He's a really big YouTuber. Well, he started out that way. He always wanted to be a rapper. He always wanted to be in the spotlight. And he literally put his whole family onto YouTube. So like he blew up YouTube, got 1 million+ followers. He put his mama on YouTube, his sister, his brother, his cousins. So now all of them have like at least 500,000 followers, and they all just live off of YouTube money that he started. So
love that.
He's
kind of like the Kardashians.
Yeah, basically. And he has a whole bunch of people under him on YouTube that he kind of launched their careers. So
love that.
He's a real business oriented person. I don't know if he's faithful, but he could teach the kid about YouTube.
So. Yeah. Well, I mean, as if their lives aren't enough, you know, that's the way in which we're going. Everything is social media, vlogging.
Yeah.
I was talking to my husband, at some point, right, about so essentially what happened was, I had an opportunity to help a celebrity find a lease in Memphis. And I mean, through research, you all could probably find out who this person is. But anyway, so they ended up canceling the concert because there was not enough ticket sales. But this is like an A+++ list celebrity, right?
Wow.
And it was like, and so me and one of the celebrity realtors down there, we were just talking and, you know, chatting about stuff. And, you know, it's like, gosh, like, really? Like, that's crazy. Like, it's almost like people these days are not as, like, the phenom of a celebrity is just like not there anymore. It's nothing for people to be like, oh yeah, girl, I saw him the other day at Roscoe's. Yeah, he was there. Yeah. You know, versus like, oh my God, I just saw, oh my God, like they're losing their shit.
They're losing their allure. Like
they're losing their allure, they're losing their touch, because everything is on social media. Everything is very much, I already know that nigga, oh yeah, you know, or she's this, or I think there's very few people that still have that, I can't even say the word, anonymity, or basically that private status, like Beyonce. Like, we don't know shit about shit. Even when there is something that's leaked, it goes away in 2 seconds. That elevator scene, that was like the juiciest thing we've had from her ever.
Yeah,
right?
Never talked about it.
Never talked about it. It never came out. And never, everybody moved on. Jay-Z cheated on her. Hey, we shut the fuck up. She came out with Lemonade. We made her money. You know, it's like, you know, the Michael Jacksons, the Janet Jacksons, the Beyonce's, you know, like all of those types of individuals, or even some of the celebrities that started out that way, are now not as private like they used to be. And it's just kind of like, I do miss that, because there are some celebrities where I'm just like, I don't want to know this. Like, you're not regular. I mean, you know, everybody's regular, but I just don't like opening my app and seeing the business, and seeing you tell your business, and seeing, you know, it's a weird day and age. And unfortunately, the outcome of this, because before it was like, well, I mean, you know, it gives social media gives like access to, like, you know, to their lives, right? Like, where we all kind of feel a part. But at the same time, if it's not handled in a way that it should be, you've got A-plus list celebrities that go to their hometown and they can't sell out the show, or whatever the case may be. It's like crazy. It's crazy.
Well, let's also talk about these damn concert ticket prices, because they're crazy. Like, I'm not gonna spend my rent, my mortgage, or whatever on your show for 2 hours. It's sick. It's just crazy. Even if I had it, it's just like, I love these.
Where do you think that comes from? Like, the ticket prices? Is it because
I feel like, personally, everything has gone up after COVID. Everybody's trying to recoup all that money they lost out on for that year and a half where nothing was running. So that includes the arenas, that includes shit, even employees. They're not trying to work for less than a certain amount. So then, if I can't get nobody to even work at the show for a certain amount, I got to raise everything. I got to raise the ticket prices, because I got to hire people at a higher rate. I got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they're trying to recoup monies that they lost out during that time. And we're obviously in a recession right now. Like, I think they said that sneakers or something like that is at the lowest it's ever been. Like, nobody's buying shoes.
Foot Locker, they lost like 30% of their shares, or down 30% or something like that. Yeah, it's
everybody's
insane.
cutting out the frivolous shit right now, because it's not even worth it. And we all got bills and stuff. And, you know, a lot of people are choosing to say, hey, I don't need to go to that show. I don't need to buy those shoes. If that means I got to work overtime and I got to do this. No, I'm not doing it.
Exactly. You know? And that, to me, is what ties into, that's a good point, because I also meant to bring that up. So that's a great thing about the ticket prices, because I'm like, the value in which people place things on is just completely night and day. Like I said, me and one of the realtors in Memphis, you know, we were talking, and she helps a lot of different celebrities, and she was like, girl, I wasn't gonna go to that concert. She live in Memphis, like, she's connected to people too, and she's just like, I wasn't gonna go to see him. Like, no, I'm good. Not even because of the prices. It's just like, I don't want to go. Like, there's other stuff. I'd rather travel. I'd rather have an experience. If I had money to, like, do stuff, or with the money that I do have, I'd rather spend it on stuff that is going to, like, really, truth be told, travel is the new, and it's always been something, but like, bags and all of that, they're still a thing, but they're not the thing. Like, experiences and travel. I mean, I feel like everyone went to Italy and had a Euro summer this summer. But all of that to say, like, people just aren't spending money. I mean, think about the movies. Think about, you know, concert tickets. Think about comedic shows. I feel like more people will probably go to a comedian or a comic show versus, like, you know, a concert these days, which is crazy, because concerts, that's like our artists. Those are our artists.
So I love concerts. It's like one of my favorite things to do.
Too.
But it's kind of lost its allure, like you said. Like, there's a few artists I really would go out and see. But then it's like
Right.
their ticket prices are too crazy. Like luckily I've seen these people so many times before. I was like, I can't pay
Right.
now. Like I just can't.
Right. Right.
Um,
Right.
for instance, SZA came here and she was only in
Mhm.
LA. I think she had 3 shows in LA. I
Okay.
mean, I was thinking about getting a ticket to her last show. I couldn't find a decent seat for less than $1,000. a
Woo!
$1,000. And I was like,
$1,000.
I saw SZA so many times when she first came out with Control. I was such a SZA fanatic. I was such a huge fan of that album. I probably seen her at least 4 times in concert, and I don't think I spent more than $55 at her show back then.
Wow.
And now her ticket sales are like $1,000. Drake, I wanted to go to Drake and 21 show in LA. The
Mhm.
prices was about $700. They started at $700 for nosebleeds. I'm not paying
That is
$700 for no
crazy.
damn nosebleeds.
That is crazy. That is
Crazy,
insane.
crazy,
That is
crazy.
insane. We are just in a different space.
Like back in my day, $700 will get you 2 front row tickets, backstage passes, a buffet, and an
Girl,
autograph. Like you're gonna get all that for $700.
you. And you hate to do that like back in my day, but it wasn't just that long ago.
Girl,
You
I'm
know,
talking
I
about
mean,
5 years ago.
like we're talking about 2 decades ago. I mean, we're talking about, in the near. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. The prices, people are just out insane with it. I mean, honestly, I'll $700. I'm buying me a flight and going
Girl,
to somewhere. I'm going somewhere. I don't know. Wait, I'm going
period. I'm
somewhere.
not spending seven
Not
hundred dollars on no Drake
for
show.
two
I'm sorry.
hours
And
to
I love
bop
Drake.
around some songs.
I know every Drake song. I
Listen,
love his songs, but I
listen,
can't do it. I won't
listen.
do it.
Girl, they even slashed them prices in Memphis and they still wasn't buying them. So I'm like, I'm just saying, like, it's
Oh,
just like the allure is interesting for certain celebrities.
yeah. Because you think about
But,
it, I've already seen clips of the show on Shade Room. I've
right.
seen it circulating social media. Shit, I've seen the show lineup before I even got to the show because it's all over social
Hmm.
media. So
And also, I don't know if you feel this way too. I feel like also, like, celebrities are cutting out. I don't know. I miss the days when celebrities didn't mind being a celebrity. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm too cool to, like,
right.
take a photo, or it's
Mm-hmm.
like these celebrities now are very much giving, like, they're just above even the audience, the fans, and it's
Girl.
like, okay, well, part of your duty and
Mm-hmm.
your responsibility, I think, as a celebrity, is to have that, personality where it is like, okay, you are connecting with your fans, right? you
Mm-hmm.
you are a little bit touchable when these people have spent so much money. It's like, yo, let me do something where the fans are, like, I don't know, I just feel like
Yep.
celebrities now are very high sedity. Like, yes, we get
Girl.
the celebrity status is already enough, so yes, you're going to be able to go in spaces and do things that us regular people might not be able to do, but it's the
Mm-hmm.
attitude behind some of these celebrities. I'm just thinking, like, ew, like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to spend no money. Like, I
Girl.
love your music. I'm gonna support it from afar. It's cool,
Mm-hmm.
but you can keep that because
I know.
you know. Can you imagine B2K and, like, I don't know, Bow Wow and hell, like, I don't know, just no, I don't even want to use them, but, like, I'm just thinking of, like, celebrities, like, being very high sedity. Like, that was part of the fandom, was like, we went crazy because they were like, when they come to your town, you actually had a possibility of seeing them and meeting them, and, like, you heard they were nice.
Mm-hmm.
But we are in a different time, and I do understand that too. People are crazier, and they do feel like they have more access to you than before. So, I get both sides, I guess. But anyways,
Girl, it's
I
just,
digress.
yeah, good luck to them
Good
because
luck to them.
they ain't getting my money.
Now, one of the things, and again, we can touch on these quickly, but I did want to just bring it up. So can you hear me?
I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Kim Zolciak, she is in from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's been in several episodes in the earlier seasons, I should say. And she's married to Croy Beardman. And
Croy. I think his name's Croy.
Croy.
Mm-hmm.
And so she and him, I don't know how I used to feel about them as a couple back then. I feel like I thought like he was a good fit for her back then when I was like into them or into like, Atlanta and all of what was going on. I just felt like, wow, he just seems like a really good like guy.
Yeah, back in the day.
And yeah, back in the day, and it worked for them because all we knew her from was Big Papa. So, faceless Big Papa. And so they since have gotten married and they had 4 kids. She had already had 2, so I think 6 total. And so a couple months ago, Kim came out, reported that she filed for divorce. And everybody was like, damn, and I think there was even reports that they were filing bankruptcy at some point or having some tax issues. And,
yeah,
the rumor report out there was, well, Kim, she don't stay when there's no money, baby. She's out when the money gone, type of energy. And then you had people that were like, dang, that's crazy. They were with each other for so long. And then it came out not too long after that they decided to go ahead and reconcile and stay together, and then it kind of just went away. And then they're back in the media again, where this time Croy, the husband, is now filing for divorce.
a mess.
And I want to say custody of the kids too, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I made that up, but I want to say he definitely filed this time.
They got like 6 of them, 6 kids or something.
They've got 4 together. They have 4 together. 6. She's got 2, the 2 girls from a previous marriage or relationship, whatever. But yeah, they definitely had 4 together. Wow. So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. It'll be interesting to see where this goes. And, because I definitely believe it's giving to me. He's like, hey, baby, let's make up. So that way I can then file. You know what I mean? Like,
girl, who knows? But
interesting.
She may be back on Housewives now. Shit, she ain't got no money coming in like that. She owes taxes.
She owes taxes.
Housewives has been in dire need of recasting this season.
I heard that Portia was supposed to be coming back. I think I saw that somewhere.
I think she needs to. This season has just been like, I mean, they're just pulling out storylines out of thin air. Like they ain't got nothing really to talk about.
I haven't even watched it. I've been
watching it here or there, but I don't watch it like
you used to.
I don't keep up with it like I used to. I'm actually watching the old Housewives right now because it's so funny.
Yeah.
I love the old Housewives, the ones with Whitney and Portia and Phaedra. Like that was the golden era of social media.
I need to go back.
Oh my God. I was just cracking up. I'm just like, they need to bring them back. Like if they could just do like a Housewives reunion episode with like all the ATL old Housewives, like man, that'd be golden. But yeah, speaking of Housewives, this is a little left turn, but Eva Marcel, who is no longer a housewife, but formerly America's Next Top Model, she has been in the headlines recently because people have been taken aback by her appearance. She's lost a lot of weight, where some people are concerned with how she's looking and hoping that she's not sick. I also know she just went through a divorce with her husband. I forget his name, but she shares a son with him. They were married for a few years, so people don't know if it's related to stress, but I was looking at the old episodes of Housewives. She looked like a completely different person. So
she does.
I don't want to make any judgment because we all know what happened with Chadwick, rest his soul. He came out looking very thin and people started clowning him. And the next thing you know, he had cancer and passed away.
Yeah.
So I don't want to clown her, but I just hope she's healthy because I do like Eva. I've liked her since America's Next Top Model. So
yeah. And, I think it also gives Tammy, what's her name? Tammy Roman.
Oh yeah.
Where, you know, she kind of was in the media for a while about her weight loss,
Mm-hmm.
and then she then, you know, I guess was comfortable enough to disclose that she has an eating condition and,
Yeah, she
you
did.
know, all of that sort of stuff. So, because for a while I thought she was sick because I was like, oh my gosh, like, is she okay? You know, all those things. And then,
Mm-hmm.
you know, she did share, I think it was on The Real, that she has an eating disorder. And honestly, when you tell her that she looks skinny, it makes her feel like she's fat. And
Loves
it
it.
does the reverse. Yeah,
Yeah.
mentally, it does the reverse. And she just wants to continue to be skinnier. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, it's just like, geez, like, you know,
That's
you just never
body
know.
dysmorphia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just never know what people really are battling and what they're going through. So I thought she was beautiful. I mean, she's still beautiful, but I thought she was
Mm-hmm.
just really a beautiful girl. I remember her from The Real World, the first
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
You know, and she's just naturally a pretty woman. So, you know, prayers
Mm-hmm.
to them, and hopefully, you know, they're healthy and, you know,
Yeah.
continue to kill shit out in the media.
It's sad and it's so rare because we don't really see that a lot in the Black community. Because you know, Black people have this fascination with like being thick and you know, I got body, I got boobs, I got, you know, we rarely see Black women wanting to be super, super thin. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see that. Not
Mm-mm.
typically. Most Black women be like, oh,
Mm-mm.
I'm getting thick, I'm getting thick. Look at, you know, so it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
rare to see that. So I'm sure it has something
Mm-hmm.
to do with their mental. But
Mm-hmm.
God bless both of them. I also want to send prayers out to an Instagram influencer. She goes by the name of Beauty Couch. She's
Okay.
an influencer on social media. Unfortunately, she was murdered in Georgia by her boyfriend. She had a lot of followers, a lot of following, and she was only 22 years old. And apparently,
Mm.
her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend um, killed her and burned her in her car, set her car on fire. So the story is still unraveling, but it's like I think I sent this to you earlier, saying that we really have a problem when it's coming to men in particular. I'm seeing just a lot of Black men who are lashing out at their partners, their
Yeah.
girlfriends, they getting broken up with, they're killing women. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's just a mental thing going on right now where Black men feel like they can't talk to anyone, or it's like a control thing. Like, if I can't have you, nobody else can have you. It's getting scary because I'm seeing just a lot of young Black girls getting killed by their partners. And it's just so sad.
Yeah. It is sad. I think anytime you're dealing with domestic violence of any sort, it's
Mm-hmm.
so like devastating because a lot of times there's signs um
Mm-hmm.
where, you know, not because like if I was in a domestic violence situation, like you would know it, right? But for me, and if I had to look in the mirror and ask myself questions, it's like, okay, this isn't the first time he's hit me, this isn't the first time he said he was going to kill me, this isn't, you know. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you never know when people's thresholds are. And, you know, some are fortunate to get out and they don't have a
Mm-hmm.
killer that's chasing them down and gonna eventually kill them. Some do have those situations. You've got some that do make it out, but then when they
Yeah.
make it out, they still end up getting killed because the partner just doesn't leave them alone. In a restraining order, what is that? A piece of
Mm-hmm.
paper? You know what I mean? And then unfortunately you have situations like this, and it's just so disheartening.
Yeah.
Because it's like, gosh, you know, I don't even know psychologically what goes into the mind of someone wanting to abuse
Mm-hmm.
anybody. I don't care if I love you or I've loved you. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, to actually then even burn her, and, you know, just to hear how it like continues to, like, these people end up dying.
Girl.
um
Tragic.
it's always so tragic and so
Mm-hmm.
like, what do you call those passion crimes, like love
Yeah.
of passion, where someone ends up stabbing somebody like 50 times? It's like, Jesus, like, was two not enough? You know, like, I'm not being funny, it's just like, what
Girl.
is going on?
Yeah.
And you know, the only thing I really can say is, you know, if you are a victim in these situations, or even the person that's doing the abuse, and you recognize that I don't want to be this person, go get help, go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
It's never as bad as what you think it is. Like, it's okay to not end up with the person you thought you were going to be with. Life does, it
Yeah,
does go on, right? And
it
also, if you're the
does.
abuser, because a lot of times it's a psychological thing, it's obviously a psychological thing for me to stay in a relationship where I'm getting abused. And because there's something going on where I don't feel worthy, or I'm not, he does love me, you know what I mean? Because he does put his hands on me or whatever, that he didn't mean it. You start to make those kinds of excuses.
That's the
But
thing. You think sometimes you like not taking it seriously, like, oh, it's a joke, or he didn't mean
yeah,
it, or oh, he really
yeah.
loves me. That's why he's doing that. And it's like, no, he's really crazy. And you
And I
gotta,
think we play a responsibility. We have a role to play in it as a society too, because a lot of these memes that we pass around, right? Acknowledging the toxic red flags, or I want my man obsessed with me. I don't want to. He don't want to play with me. I need my man to call me 100 times. When really, it's like, what are we saying? Like,
That's not
it's
healthy.
like that is not. And if you've ever been in a situation where you've had that obsession and that
It's scary.
crazy, it's
Mm-hmm.
very scary. It's very scary because you're like, are they serious? Oh yeah, no, he was serious because, or she was serious because, and then, she put this on my car, and it's like, okay, and you're laughing about with your friends, like, man, that man is obsessed with you. And it's like, no, it's not, it's really not funny. Like, I have a ruined car. I've been missing out on business calls because he calls my phone every 5 seconds. Like, what else is this man capable of? What else is this woman capable of?
Yeah,
So
girl.
we've got to really, as a society, do some work and start normalizing green flags as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
because that is what will save you, are those green flags.
Every time.
Um, I was, yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. So that's that on that. But God rest her soul, and anybody else who's lost a life at the hands of domestic abuse or
Yeah.
violence, or even if you're not dead, it's just tragic that you have to, you yourself don't feel worthy enough of, um getting out, or maybe you did try to get out, and like I said, the attempt just wasn't successful. But I hope that for victims, that you don't continue to make excuses after the second time. The first time you may be like, oh, whoa, what was that? What was that? And you may be
Yeah.
like, okay, you know what? He said he was sorry. Okay. But after that second time, do you really need to see a third time? Do you really need to see a fourth time? Do you really need to see a fifth time? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. So, yeah, prayers up to her and her family. And just, we want to promote mental health here. So make sure y'all take care of yourselves and take breaks and relax, and just know that everything is not so serious. And when you're young, sometimes you think, oh my God, this breakup is like the end of life,
the
but
end of the world.
it's not. So, yep, everyone protect yourselves out there.
Hmm. Um, and then speaking of, this kind of fits right into the next story, Tory Lanez. We
Mm,
saw where he got the book thrown at him for 10 years.
yeah.
Um, Now, I don't know if he has to do all 10. I don't speak federal, I don't speak prison, and, they do
Mm-hmm.
80%. And then some people are like, no, that's Fed time. You got to do. So I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what's what, but I do know he got 10 years. And this came as
Yeah.
a huge shock to, I think, a lot of people, regardless of what side of the fence you were on in the Megan the Stallion versus Tory Lanez case.
Mm-hmm.
10 years was still excessive. I felt like, now again, do I feel like what would have been the perfect amount of years? I don't know. Do I think he should have got time? Absolutely. Do I think 10 years was a lot of years? I was like, yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but shit, you did
Mm-hmm.
it. And again, this isn't just, apparently from what I was reading, this wasn't just based on the Megan Thee Stallion. Like, he had prior things going on. Not only was he a
Oh.
immigrant or whatever, he wasn't supposed to have a gun. He wasn't supposed, like, there was all kinds of things that were stacked up, and it just so happened with the Megan Thee Stallion case
Mm-hmm.
that was also in addition to everything else. So
Yeah.
in that case, it's like, oh, okay, right?
Yeah.
But,
I think
I
he
don't
was
feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him. I feel like he's
right.
very arrogant. I didn't even know who this young man was. I mean, there were songs that I had to be told that that was him. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay. But I just never, knew this man like
Mm-hmm.
that. And once the Megan Thee Stallion thing unfolded and I started to kind of dig a little deeper into, just what was being said, what he was saying, I'm thinking like, oh, he's bold. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
he's bold, regardless of whatever Megan was going through and all that. We've had shows on this, but I'm like, he's very arrogant. He's very arrogant. And but yeah, my thoughts are I don't feel bad. That's where I stand. I don't feel bad for the young man. I mean, hopefully this is a learning lesson for him in whatever
Mm-hmm.
way he needs to take that. And he'll come out better on the other end. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think that the sentence was like that because, like you said, he had priors. I want to say he was on probation. So he wasn't even supposed to have a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
So when you violate that stuff, you automatically get higher sentencing. So
Right.
it shouldn't be no
Okay.
shock. Like you're not in your home country, you violated
Mm-hmm.
probation, you're a former felon.
You're
Yeah.
African American male on top of that, so they're already going to make an example out of
Mm-hmm.
you just off the rip, you know.
Mm-hmm. And LA doesn't play about guns. It's just like New
Mm,
York and LA, they have very strict gun laws. So
okay.
wasn't shocking to me. Not really.
No, wasn't shocked. You weren't shocked. That was 10 years. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I wasn't shocked at all because I was just like, he had priors. Like, they're not about to
Yeah.
give him like a slap on the wrist when you already got away last time. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And see, I didn't know that that's what I just saw 10 years, Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, right? And then it was like, oh, I see where the 10 years amounts to based on, and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But yeah, originally I thought he got 10 years just off the Meg Thee Stallion case alone. And even if he did, it is what it is. But I was like,
Yeah.
once I read a little bit more into it, I was like, oh, this man has been cutting up. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, you've been, again, arrogant, thinking you're,
Yeah.
this over that.
I
It'll
bet
get you caught
you
up
he
every
gonna
time.
I bet you he'll think twice next time he pull out a gun to shoot at somebody's feet.
Oh, man.
So
Listen,
he gonna think three
that part.
times. So oh
Well,
well. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
play
Next.
stupid games, win separate prizes. That is the one. I'm with you when you're right, friend. I'm with you when you're right.
Girl,
Um,
but Megan's been out here living her best life. She looks like she lost about 15 pounds.
she looks amazing. She looks so
Mm-hmm.
good. And I'm rooting for her. We all make mistakes in life. I don't think that one mistake or a couple mistakes here and there, as long as you learn and you're continuing to evolve, I still feel bad that she lost her mom. Like, and she's had to kind of, and
Mm-hmm.
then her friends, and I'm sure it's already a lonely space. They say as you climb the top, regardless of what people think and how lavish your lifestyle is, it can be lonely.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just pray that her mental is intact and that she recognizes that, look, life does go on and, you can evolve and, this doesn't have to take you out. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to her. She looks great. She looks phenomenal though.
Yep. God bless them.
Um,
All righty.
yeah. So that was pretty much all that I had written down for today. I
Yep.
wanted to discuss, but we will definitely make a better attempt to start covering more stories as they're unfolding um, in real time because, like I said, when's the last time we were on here? I think we were in New Orleans together. Yeah.
Yeah, New Orleans.
So
So
it was this, so it was
it's been a
early,
month.
it was this month. It was within this month, 3 weeks ago.
Almost, yeah. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We were there
Three
July
weeks ago.
30th. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
About a month.
Yeah. About a
Mm-hmm.
month.
So
Yeah.
that's not bad. We'll try to keep
Not
up the
bad.
pace, y'all. Make sure you follow
Yeah.
us on Melanin and Me podcast. I started a TikTok page for us as well. So make sure you follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
Yes. And until next time, peace.
Bye.